You know what keeps me awake at night? It's knowing that somewhere, young people are being taught that money. You know what keeps me awake at night? It's knowing that somewhere, young people are being taught that money buys immunity from consequences. I thought I'd seen it all in 32 years on this bench. Until Ethan Bradford walked into my courtroom, 24 years old. Son of pharmaceutical CEO Robert Bradford. 3 corporate lawyers who'd made 17 violations disappear. DUI causing serious injury. Hit and run. Leaving the scene while people bled. When those 3 lawyers told me I had no jurisdiction, that corporate privilege protected him, I made one phone call to the Rhode Island Bar Association. What happened next became the most explosive moment in Providence courtroom history. Because in my courtroom, using corporate lawyers to shield criminal behavior isn't just unethical, it's a felony. Let me tell you exactly what happened.
A young man in an Armani suit walks into Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom, flanked by 3 lawyers in matching black suits, carrying identical briefcases. Ethan Bradford, 24, son of pharmaceutical CEO Robert Bradford, whose company generates $800 million annually. 3 days ago, at 2:47 p.m., Ethan's Porsche 911 ran a red light at 68 miles per hour and T-boned a Honda Accord carrying a family. Antonio Silva, 56, restaurant owner. Wife Carmen, 54. Daughter Isabella, 15. Son Diego, 12. Antonio, 2 broken ribs, fractured collarbone. Carmen, severe concussion. Isabella, shattered arm, requiring surgery. Diego, 17 stitches across his face. Ethan left the scene, didn't call 911, didn't check if anyone was hurt. Sir. Now those same lawyers stand here with one message: you can't touch him. Drop where you're watching from in the comments. Monday morning, Providence Municipal Court. State of Rhode Island versus Ethan Michael Bradford. Lead attorney Gregory Whitmore steps forward. Your Honor, I'm General Counsel for Bradford Pharmaceuticals. We represent Mr. Bradford. Judge Caprio looks up. This is a criminal case with serious injuries. Are you a criminal defense attorney? I'm licensed in Rhode Island. Why is the company's legal team defending him?
This is already crossing a major red line when corporate lawyers step into a criminal courtroom. Alarms should start ringing. This isn't influence. This is an attempted takeover of justice.
Mr. Bradford is the CEO's son. His conduct reflects on the company. Protecting him protects company interests. The courtroom gasps. Are you using corporate assets to defend personal criminal conduct? We're protecting the company's reputation. I thought the company was your client, not him. Whitmore realizes his mistake. The interests are aligned. A corporation and a man who nearly killed 4 people? Those don't sound aligned. Hit that like button and subscribe. Mr. Bradford, step forward. Ethan approaches in his Tom Ford suit. You're charged with DUI causing injury, reckless driving, hit and run, leaving the scene, obstruction. Do you understand? Whitmore interrupts. My client invokes Fifth Amendment rights. I asked if he understands the charges. Judge Caprio's jaw tightens. Mr. Bradford, yes or no? Yes, Your Honor. Whitmore cuts in. We're filing a motion to dismiss. The traffic camera footage lacks proper warrant. All evidence must be suppressed. The courtroom gasps. Are you saying police can't investigate a hit and run without corporate lawyers present? Any investigation without representation violated constitutional protections. He fled the scene. How could attorneys be present? Sarah Blackwell speaks. Mr. Bradford is a principal stakeholder. His actions affect the company. Was nearly killing 4 people company business? He was returning from a company lunch where alcohol was served. Comment if these lawyers are done. Let's see this evidence. Has been read for 4.3 seconds. Ethan's Porsche enters at high speed. No braking. Runs the red light. T-bones the Accord with devastating force. The Accord spins 270 degrees, slams into a utility pole. Ethan stumbles out, pulls out his phone immediately. For 52 seconds he paces on his phone while the Accord sits smoking with a trapped, bleeding family. He inspects his damage, checks for witnesses, then drives away. 18 seconds later, a woman stops and calls 911. The courtroom is silent. People are crying. That's the evidence you want excluded? It violates his expectation of privacy. On a public street? Subscribe, because what happens next will shock you. Let's hear from Officer Maria Santos. She takes the stand. I responded at 2:53 p.m. Firefighters were extracting the family.
Pause right here. Did you catch that? You can't touch him. That's not a legal argument. That's entitlement dressed up as law. Comment below. Have you ever seen lawyers try this hard to intimidate a court?
Mr. Silva unconscious with chest trauma. Mrs. Silva bleeding from her head. The daughter's arm bent unnaturally. The boy's face shredded by glass. Was the other vehicle there? No, it fled. We identified Ethan Bradford at Bradford Pharmaceuticals headquarters. What happened when you arrived? Within 90 seconds, 3 attorneys formed a physical barrier. Mr. Whitmore said I had no authority without a court order. Mr. Hammond told me I was out of my depth, and Bradford Pharmaceuticals had relationships at every level. He threatened to have my badge. The courtroom erupts. Were they obstructing your investigation? Yes, Your Honor. They deliberately blocked a felony investigation and threatened me. Hit that like button. Get me the Rhode Island Bar Association Ethics Committee, Director Helen Foster, immediately. The lawyers' faces go pale. Your Honor, that's unnecessary. Sit down. 4 minutes of tense silence. Then a voice through the speaker. This is Helen Foster, Director of Professional Conduct, Rhode Island Bar Association. Director Foster, I have 3 attorneys here. Gregory Whitmore, David Hammond, Sarah Blackwell. Corporate counsel for Bradford Pharmaceuticals. They're representing the CEO's son in a criminal DUI case with serious injuries. Is that ethical? Brief pause. Judge Caprio, are they representing the individual or the corporation? They keep claiming both. That's impossible. If they're corporate counsel paid by the company, they represent the corporation exclusively. They cannot represent an individual in a personal criminal matter using corporate resources. That's conflict of interest and potential fraud. Whitmore stands. Director Foster, we're protecting company interests. Mr. Whitmore, did the corporation drive drunk? No, but... Then you have no business using company resources. That's shareholder money defending personal criminal conduct. Judge Caprio continues. They also obstructed police investigation for 3 days, destroying blood alcohol evidence. They threatened the officer.
This is where the strategy collapses. Corporate interests and personal crimes are never the same thing. The moment they claimed alignment, they handed the judge the rope and started tying the knot themselves.
They obstructed a felony investigation? According to sworn testimony, yes. Judge Caprio, what you're describing is multiple severe violations. Witness intimidation. What happens now? All 3 will receive formal ethics complaints within 24 hours. I'm recommending immediate emergency suspension of their licenses. Immediate suspension? Yes, prohibited from practicing in Rhode Island effective today. This will proceed to the Supreme Court Disciplinary Board for permanent disbarment. The lawyers look devastated. Thank you, Director Foster. The call ends. The courtroom erupts in applause. Subscribe if this is the most satisfying moment ever. Mr. Whitmore, Mr. Hammond, Ms. Blackwell, your licenses will be suspended within hours. Based on today, you'll never threatened an officer, obstructed justice, and billed the company for it. He turns to Ethan. Your legal team just imploded. Now we're hearing from the family you nearly killed. Antonio Silva walks carefully to the stand, clearly in pain. Antonio Silva, I own Silva's family kitchen. My wife and I built it 22 years ago. What happened 3 days ago? We were returning from my daughter's orthodontist. Green light. I saw a silver car from the left not slowing. Tried to brake. Too late. His voice breaks. Impact. Everything white. Metal, glass. My wife screaming. Kids crying. Couldn't breathe. Chest crushed. Heard someone on a phone outside. Not calling for help. Just talking. Then engine starting. Driving away. Your injuries? 2 broken ribs. Fractured collarbone. Doctor said 6 inches higher would have been my skull. Couldn't work 3 weeks. No income. Your family? Carmen has severe concussion. Daily headaches. Can't work. Isabella broke her arm.
Watch the judge's silence here, judges. Don't interrupt when they're angry. They stop talking when they're calculating this footage. Just erase every defense they thought they had.
3 places needed surgery. Diego needed 17 stitches across his face. He's 12. Scars forever. He wipes his eyes. Worse than physical is trauma. Diego won't get in cars without panic attacks. Isabella has nightmares. Carmen flinches at intersections. He broke our sense of safety. Did Mr. Bradford contact you? No, but 3 days after, 2 lawyers came, offered $25,000. For what? Medical bills, lost wages, vehicle damage. But I had to sign saying I wouldn't cooperate with prosecutors or speak publicly. The courtroom erupts. What did you do? Told them to leave. My wife Carmen said, "We teach our children honesty. We have to practice it." I showed them out. That took courage. Not courage. What's right? I came from Brazil 30 years ago with nothing. Built my business on honesty. Wasn't abandoning that for money. What do you want to say to Mr. Bradford? Antonio turns to Ethan. Mr. Bradford, I don't know you, but I know what you did. Got drunk, drove recklessly, crashed into my family. Your first thought wasn't, are they okay? It was, how do I protect myself? His voice breaks. I have a son your age. If Diego did this, I'd be devastated. Not because of consequences, but because I'd failed to teach him people matter. Actions have consequences. Being a man means taking responsibility. Ethan is crying. I hope you learn. I hope you become better. Right now, you're not who you should be. Like this video and subscribe. Mr. Bradford, you heard Mr. Silva. You traumatized a family, nearly killed them, abandoned them. Your father's lawyers tried buying silence. What do you say? Ethan's lawyers stare at the floor. Your Honor, I'm so sorry. I made terrible decisions. I was drunk, scared. Called my dad, he sent lawyers. They told me to say nothing. So you followed their advice, left a bleeding family, hid behind lawyers, let them try to buy silence. I didn't know about the money, but you didn't stop it. Ethan has nothing. I've done this 32 years. The difference
This phone call is nuclear judges rarely call bar associations mid-hearing, and when they dock arrears, usually don't survive it hit, like if you felt the power shift in that room.
accident, you could have called 911. You called your father. Police came, you could have cooperated. You hid. Silva's rejected the buyout, you could have apologized. You stayed silent. Every choice was protecting yourself, not once about that family. I'm sorry. Sorry isn't enough. Ethan Michael Bradford, I find you guilty. DUI causing injury, reckless driving, hit and run, leaving the scene, obstruction. 90 days for DUI, 90 consecutive for hit and run, 60 consecutive for leaving, 30 consecutive for obstruction. Total 270 days. Full restitution to Silva family, $46,000. License suspended 2 years. 200 hours community service at trauma center. Written apologies. Sentence begins immediately. Bailiff, custody. Officer Rodriguez approaches with handcuffs. Your Honor, please. You nearly killed 4 people, fled, hid, tried buying silence. 9 months is lenient. The handcuffs click. As Ethan is led away, he stops. Mr. Silva, I'm so sorry. Antonio stands. Ethan, my wife Carmen wanted me to tell you. Pray for that young man. He needs guidance we can't give. Maybe 9 months will. Ethan breaks down. I don't deserve your kindness. No, but my faith teaches forgiveness. Use these 9 months. Become someone your family can be proud of. Even Judge Caprio wipes his eyes. The door closes. Judge Caprio turns to the lawyers. You didn't just violate ethics. You betrayed the profession. Used law degrees and corporate power to shield a drunk driver. Threatened an officer. Tried buying silence. I hope you're disbarred. The lawyers leave. Careers over. Antonio approaches Judge Caprio. Thank you. You refused $25,000. That took strength. Money's tight. We have 4 kids. But what would we teach them? That justice is for sale? Money matters more than right? My daughter Isabella told me, Dad, in civics we learned justice is blind. If we take money, we're putting a price on justice. Within 48 hours, all 3 lawyers suspended. Within 30 days, permanently disbarred. CEO Robert Bradford forced to resign. Stock dropped 7%. Wife Susan Bradford filed for separation. Silva family received full $46,000 restitution. Antonio expanded restaurant, hired 2 veterans. Ethan served all 9 months, wrote Antonio weekly. Mr. Silva, I want to work, not for money, to earn forgiveness. Antonio's decision stunned everyone. Wash dishes, minimum wage, 6 months. 2 years later, Ethan still works there, manages kitchen 3 nights weekly, sober 798 days, speaks at high schools. I nearly killed 4 people because I thought money made me immune. Judge Caprio taught me nothing. No money, no lawyers, no name puts you above not hurting people. Antonio, everyone deserves a second chance, but they earn it first. Ethan is earning it. The 3 lawyers never practiced again. Judge Caprio. 3 lawyers thought corporate power could shield crime. They were wrong. A young man thought money made him immune. He was wrong. A family showed us justice can't be bought. That's the lesson. Justice isn't for sale. In my courtroom, it never will be. Share if you believe justice should never be for sale. Subscribe to Judge Stories YT. Remember, handcuffs don't care about bank accounts.
This is the moment justice stops being about punishment and starts being about accountability. The sentence matters, but the message matters more. Do you think this outcome would have been the same without public scrutiny?